Shalom Dammit! This is Rabbi Sol Solomon with a Rabbinical Reflection for the end of the year 2025. I don't think I know anyone who hasn't had a cruddy year. If they're not upset with politics and the government, they're dealing with death, illness, financial stress, mental problems, dental problems. If you actually had a good year in 2025, please let me know your phone number so I can play it for lotto. But here it is, December 31st, and what do you know? You survived. I'm not saying you thrived, but you endured. And I hope you got your jollies along the way. Not every news event was tragic, and a few sad stories had silver linings. Pope Francis died, but the new guy's an American from Chicago, so at least you can understand him when he dumps on gays and abortions. And yes, he's on the conservative side, but what do you expect from a pope, RuPaul? Back to silver linings. While inflation is scaring everyone who has to buy a house, a car, a health plan, or, groceries, the stock market has remained a juggernaut. Therefore, if, by the time you retire, you haven't given all your money to Aetna, you might have a few bucks left in your 401k to spend on cat food. Politically, it was another Civil War-level year, with liberals screaming disaster at Trump's every move, and Trump often deserving the screams. Did he need to renovate the White House ballroom and alchemize the silverware into goldenware? Did he have to put his name on the Memorial Kennedy Center? Trump's bullet missed. And did the president have to redact all those pages in the Epstein files that showed him to be almost as big a perv as Bill Clinton? Well, at least Trump is ridding the country of useless foreigners with questionable visas. Hey, anybody seen Melania lately? Meanwhile, anti-Semitism disguised as anti-Zionism still gives college students and left-wing wingnuts a hard-on. But Israel and the Palestinians are holding to some kind of ceasefire, while America's been going after ISIS in Syria and Nigeria and stopping nukes in Iran. And while the mass murder at a Hanukkah festival in Bondi Beach reminded us Jews are still despised, a clump of Jewish corpses granted us a day or two of sympathy before the clown cars returned with their Free Gaza circus act. God help us, New York elected a rabidly anti-Israel socialist mayor. But the good news is, Mamdani's policies will be so ruinous, bankrupting, and unenforceable, no one's going to give a chara what he believes. Oh, and if it's not already evident, let me assert that this rabbinical reflection was written entirely with my two little hands and my too preoccupied brain. That is to say, any intelligence you happen to find in my prose may be unexpected, but not artificial. 2025 was the year that everything on the internet was suspect, from heartwarming parables about celebrities to the sloppiest slop. Algorithms were telling us what to buy, how to think, and where to vent. It was the year academics gave up fighting AI and instead told students, here's your final exam, which was written by my chat GPT. Have your Grammarly take it, and then my co-pilot will grade it. And afterwards, we can all meet on the unemployment line because nobody has to fucking know anything anymore. But I digress. Anger is not the end game of my annual review of the annum gone by. Nostalgic melancholy is more the mood because now is time to remember those we lost. Musicians, authors, performers, folks who left their mark, so in poetic form, we mark their passing. Farewell to Pope Francis, as popes go, a goodie. Goodbye, Diane Keaton, we loved you with Woody. Adieu, Tony Roberts, a fellow Woody frère, and Richard Chamberlain, paging Dr. Kildare. With his gifted family, Sly Stone took us higher, and tears for Jill Sobule, who flamed out in a fire. We lost Lalo Schifrin and his orchestrations. Let's hope Brian Wilson picks up good vibrations. Ace Frehley and Ozzy now sleep in the sand. And farewell, Garth Hudson, the last of the band. We lost Malcolm Jamal Warner when he lost his grips. Loretta Swit and Chuck Mangione have sealed their hot lips. Farewell to Rob Reiner. What great films he did. If only Nick Reiner was Greta Thunberg's kid. Tom Stoppard, whose plays were quite the real thing, now joins Robert Redford in feeling death's sting. Bye-bye to Hulk Hogan, who wrestled with glee, and Lonnie Anderson, who put the TNA in KRP. Ta-ta, Charlie Kirk, whose death gave us chills. So long to George Foreman, whose thrills gave us grills. Bill Moyers once anchored the news desk with grace, and Charles Strauss helped us put on a happy face. With David Johansen we rocked and got funky, and Jane Goodall taught us the mind of a monkey. So long David Lynch, whose films got tongues wagging. Puff went Peter Yarrow and his magic dragon. Connie Francis could sing, and Roberta Flack croon. Jules Pfeiffer satirized life by cartoon. We'll miss Brigitte Bardot, her face, legs, and bust, and Marianne Faithfull's great voice of sawdust. Gene Hackman succumbed in his rundown chalet. Steve Cropper, now dead on the dock of the bay. Val Kilmer, Diane Ladd, each one a sad loss, and Jimmy Cliff has no more rivers to cross. No love for Dick Cheney and his years of fears, but raise up a glass for George Wendt and his cheers, and keep the toast going for loved ones departed. We mourn them, we miss them, and though broken-hearted, we bravely go forward through kicks, sticks, and bricks, and hope for the best in 2026. This has been a Rabbinical Reflection from Rabbi Sol Solomon, Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. Happy Jew Year.